Yeah. So this is going to be my complete guide for Hatssut. We will go over gears, skills, awakenings, artifact, and then I'll probably show her in a little bit of content. I definitely want to show her in arena. I could show the GVG setup that I use with her. I don't know how vital that is for everyone, but like she is one of the best GVG champs as well. And then I'll probably just go ahead and show her in Gear Raid 2. I might go ahead and show like where she's using Gear Dungeon 2. I don't want to go through the full run for that though. Um, I would have to re-gear everything on my account at the moment. And I don't want to do all that. So first off, we have gear. Generally, or let's go over skills first. Actually, so for skills, deals damage up to 5 enemies nearby, dealing a 230% AOE damage every zero point 0.3 seconds, lasting for 4 seconds. So this is full booked. Skill cost 700. This ult comes out fast. You pretty much get it to start with. Your starting rage is 600, so it's a very quick ult to get off. I think that's one of the reasons she's so effective in like a lot of like arena content and stuff like that. Like Hatssut just clears you that first round with the ult because you essentially start with it. As far as basic, deal 60% damage to the target and 20% damage to one nearby enemy 2 consecutive times, prioritizing targets with low defense. Her passive, Soul Torment, attack bounces to one more target with the damage each bounce increases by 9%. Each enemy hit also suffers defense reduction that lasts for 10 seconds. So it's a 30% defense reduction. It's actually massive. Very, very good debuff. Probably one of the things that makes Hatssut so great, especially in arena, like when you're dealing with all those mobs in the AoE arena, and she could pretty much just hit them all off the start. Um, that's why you see Hatssut, like especially like in like I said, in AoE arena, like people will always place her at the top, so she's just spawn hitting those minions, placing those debuffs, and making it like if you have like an Ardea or Valkyra or anything else that can really just pick off those enemies and spawn, she just makes light work of them. So insane, insane debuff there. And then Ghastly Stealth, when deployed, gains invisibility for 40 seconds. Meanwhile, each kill increases attack by 5%, stacking up to 5 times and lasting for 10 seconds. This is great in like Void Rift, especially. There's like a bunch of those tentacle levels where she's just really good having that Ghastly torment going. You could pretty much just put her on an island by herself and really just let her deal damage there. You don't really have to worry about healing her for a while. As far as awakenings go, she's got some okayish awakenings. Like the first one's decent, soul drain damage plus 5%, so that's the attack bounce one. Um, A2 is actually a lot bigger than you think, cause so it's a 300 base attack, but for a champ here, so her base attack is only 3,000, so it's almost like a 10% increase essentially. It's very very big. Makes gearing her a lot easier as well. Makes her even more viable for things with the arena and anywhere you're looking for her to just get some kills off. A3 is one that I think is just dumb. The Ghastly Stealth 10 seconds. Like it's already 40 seconds. You're dealing like 50 seconds of invisibility. It doesn't really do a whole lot for her. It might have some uses in like campaigns and stuff like that, but for the most part, you're not getting a whole lot out of that A3. A4, once again, pen is awesome. Anytime you see penetration stats additional, it's huge. It just makes sure she's going to be doing more damage to everything. So pen is great, and then this is the massive one. It's her ult. She essentially gets a third of the time increase on her ult. So I think it's 3 seconds to start with, and this goes to 4. So actually massive. Or is it 4 and it goes to 5 after it's skilled? Yeah, so it's 4 seconds, it goes to 5. So it's a quarter of the time added. So still insane. She's adding 230% AoE damage every zero point 0.3 seconds, so 690% or AoE damage increase. Very, very good. Artifacts. Artifacts kind of differed. It just really comes down to what content you are running her in. As far as GVG goes, Arena goes, I pretty much have her in E-drills all the time for those two. It's just going to be her best artifact 100%. You look up top at those top teams in Arena, everybody's running her in E-drill. You look in GVG, for the most part, everyone's going to be running her in E-drill. Only when she's getting a lot of kills is it worth running something like the Soul Reaper, or the Reaper's Emblem. She does have niche combat or content where like the Icarus Chalice is just going to be like one of her best, like Gear Dungeon 2. This is just like a must-have for her, so she can basically just self-sustain with this artifact by herself. I've seen a couple people run Blood Bond Signet on her. I don't think it's the worst artifact. Like if it's one of the only ones you have early game, it's fine, I guess. But I would probably just rather run E-Drill on it. There's actually another legendary one I ran for a while. Let me go. Don't have it built up anymore. Shadow Gaze, I used this for a long time. It's actually very, very good. Increased attack by 10% for every 5 attacks, lasting for 5 seconds. So it's just a complete attack increase. Each basic attack launch increases attack by 3% for 2 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. The Broken Nightmare could be okay as well, I guess. But for the most part, you're looking really for the E-Drill's Gaze. Or the mythic ones being the Reaper's Emblem, or yeah, just the Reaper's Emblem. Like I said, you could run Bloodbond as well, but I don't think it's ideal for most content. And then we can go into gearing. So gearing is interesting. She's got 3 really good sets. So the first one is Soulbound. I pretty much always have her in this set. Occasionally I'll throw her in Ageless, like if I have like all my Soulbounds equipped elsewhere. But I think she is worth like just having her own dedicated, really good set of Soulbound. So, like I said, I use her more majority for most content. Like I said, she's in my GVG team, so I always want to have her in good gear for that. She's in most of my arena teams other than single target, so I want to have her in good gear for that. So a lot of times it's just good to have her like with a solid Soulbound set. The other 2 sets I would look for are Ageless Wrath and then Hell's Lament. I know a lot of people aren't going to have Hell's Lament yet. It's a very rare set. I've got 1 piece so far. I know, but there are some people I've seen have some decent sets already with that. So if you're one of those lucky ones, you could definitely consider it because it's just a huge increase in crit damage, I think. And so when the ultimate is triggered, increase damage by 30% and crit damage by 40%, lasting for 8 seconds. So massive increase of damage. Big increase on the ultimate. But as far as right side stats, I'm looking for attack for most content. Like I said, GVG and Arena. Pretty much always just want to have the attack. It's just going to be better off downing units. And then as far as left side, I'm just looking for attack, crit rate, crit damage, or attack, crit rate, and attack speed. Generally, any of those. I already had a decent amount of speed coming from the right side, so I could really focus these crit damage sets. But yeah, generally, for most content, I'll either run her in like this full attack soulbound, or I'll throw her in like 1 crit damage and 2 attacks, for main stat on the right side. So let's go into some arena real quick. I already showed this comp a little bit earlier in the week. I'll just kind of go through and show the auto for it. So arena, defense team, edit. So this is like one of the main teams I've been running lately. Let me make sure she has some gear on. Otherwise, it will not work. Where's... Okay. So essentially, it's all around Hatssut's first placement. She's the only reason this team works. A lot of times you will see Hatssut in this placement for pretty much all the AoE teams. It's just one of the best placements. She's getting the defense down going right away. So first off, we actually start with Cyrene. And then we'll go right into the Hatssut after that. So you can let these enemies pass by. It doesn't really matter. Hello, game. Did you freeze? There we go. And then you could just rip the ult and kill on the bottom. So you can see she's doing quite a bit of damage to everyone in the spawn already. That allows me to get my Volca down right away. And from there on, we're pretty much just safe here. All these people are just going to get debuffed to hell. And everyone's just going to end up making light work of them. So this unit here, the Arrogance, if you guys do not have Arrogance, you could throw a Greed on this pillar back here or right behind Hatssut. And this comp also really still works very well like that. But ideally, if you do have the Arrogance, it is the safer bet. But everyone should have the Volcas and the Sirens already, I would think, or most people. Also, if you don't have Torador, Wrath works fine in this team as well, as I mentioned when I made the Arena comp originally. I ran Wrath for a long time in this comp. And then during the last Ancient event, I was lucky enough to just hit 2 Toradors. Or unlucky enough because I didn't get the Praetus, but honestly, I'm very happy with this team as far as Arena goes. It does very, very well. It actually works very well against most Praetus teams. We're just basically killing everything in the spawn, and that's a lot of that is due to Hatssut dropping defense reduction on them. So it allows all these other enemies just to make real light work of them. And we're coming up to the very end. I'll save Hatssut just to kill everything off. And that's wraps. That is the AoE comp for Hatssut. Like I said, Corridor can be replaced with Wrath. And then if you don't have Arrogance, you could definitely replace them with Greed in the back there. It shall work really fine. And then anti-air. Okay, as far as the anti-air team goes, this is like I would consider the full meta team. Obviously, you don't have to have Sargak. Silas works very well in this comp as well. I think he could even work possibly better in this comp. And then as far as Yovar goes, this could be Lunaria or Raka, whichever Piercer Lord. If you don't have a Piercer Lord, we got a free one coming here soon. Don't miss out on that. Definitely do not miss out on that. Theowen, very common bucket champ, should have. And Nyx could be replaced with a few things. If you have this comp already, you could throw a Silas in there. You could potentially throw an Edro in there if you're kind of early game still. I don't fully recommend that, but it's definitely an option. Really just looking for another piercer, and I'll kind of show how this one's set up, or how I set it up. So Hatssut doesn't come down right away. It's really the Sargak show at the beginning. Hope everyone's geared. They should be. So first round is all Sargak. Second round, we do get Hatssut down. I usually wait till this one's about half to pop him, so he starts losing a little bit of HP. And then I get my Hatssut down. Also, generally, I'm running a Hatssut, and I didn't even check her gear. I'm running Hatssut and the Idril's Gaze here. Same with Sargak. And then now we'll throw it on the auto just to let this ult go off as soon as it can. That's another trick for you guys. Instead of trying to spam it and trying to catch it at the perfect timing, throwing it to auto real quick is very, very good. A lot of people will also run Sargak one spot back or Silas one spot back just so they can get Nyx forward, but had more luck with her here. We'll get our Theo one down. And then the final round, we have Hatssut ult. Kind of save our butt. We didn't even get Yovar down in time. And that's a lot of damage there as well. But yeah, that's like the real meta comp. Like I said, if you want to move Sargak 1, it definitely works. You lose the early grounds easier, I think. But for the most part, Nyx becomes a sniper and she could snipe everything. All right, and on to Gear Raid 2, Stage 21. This was one of the things that Hatssut really opened up my account for. Like, I was able to do this very shortly after my account. I actually ended up re-rolling for Hatssut. I knew she was a crazy champ. And she really did set up my account just perfectly well. So we're running Wrath just for Lord bonus. You can make him tanky in here to try to survive more than 2 hits, but generally he's just going to die anyway. Hatssut, obviously just built for damage. She's going to carry the full damage. Volca shortens the revive timer, allows us to get Decimus and Baron back when we need them. Dolores is like the one big one here. Like I know some people might not have her, and she kind of is the deterrent. If you don't have her, you're gonna struggle trying to get through 21. Doing it with Hatssut. I also use Horn on her, so it makes this a lot easier. Her ult's ready to go like as soon as she's dropped. Vortex, he's there to eat some rocks. Uh, really, that's all he's there for, and then he heals up my tank at the very end. Do I have gear on Olog? I do have some gear on Olog. He isn't in full Guardian, but that's fine. Decimus, everyone knows him. Broke here, this can be e-sold. Honestly, it'd probably be better if it is. I just don't have her geared right now, so we just threw Broke here in here. But generally, like this works perfectly fine with e-sold. You're also getting the faction bonus for this bottom side with like Madan and Vortex. But yeah, we'll hop into it. This strat works out very, very well. So to start the run off, just get Hatssut down. If you guys don't have like the best DPS gear right away and you are struggling on these ads at the beginning, you can throw it on Madan as well, but I'm just going to keep going with Olog. And then as soon as that one gets close, we're just going to rip the Hatssut ult, and they are going to be shredded. Like I said, if you don't have the damage right away, bring in Dolores with that horn, and you'll have the ult going off, and Hatssut will shred them for sure. Honestly, you could really just pop both of them in if you do have some really decent gear to start with, and you could do it without a tank at all. Hatssut can just kill that minion fast enough. Oh, boom, boom. And there's the first wave. I've not done Gear Raid 2 in a long time. I was one of those psychos that actually used to love this Gear Raid. So on this one, we'll throw a Vortex facing the other side. This will allow him to solo heal. Get down both of our tanks. Get down our Madan. And this is where I was talking about with Hatssut having such a low cost ult, why she shines so well, and this is where it's important to have the horn. So we drop Dolores with the horn. So she's pretty much ready to go instantly. Boom. We can start pulling our tanks, pulling our healer, and pulling Hatssut. So we do waste a lot of cost there, but we don't really need it too much. It's more so the timers are what we're going to be scared of. I was a little late there. That's not good. Pop Baron. Get down our Decimus. He goes into his slam mode. As soon as this goes blue again, we could drop down on our Olog or our Brokir or any other tank that you have here, and you'll be kind of just set. So boom. Get some heals on it. And we are chilling. Wasn't the prettiest run, but it worked. Pop Dolores, pop Hatssut, knock out quite a bit of damage. Throw down the Wrath for the hell of it. And that's stage 21. Very, very good to have on an early account, like I was saying. Just focus attack on Hatssut, really, if you're looking for gear stats. You want attack, crit rate, crit damage. Some attack speed always helps. Well, and then other than that, I could kind of show GVG. Go into a guild real quick. Garrison team. Just click Nightmare, because this is probably one of the most common ones you'll see. If you don't have Torador, I don't know if you're necessarily going to be running this team. This and I guess Dahlia. This is still like this is going to be one of the most common teams you see. I think Destin mentioned this on his video as well. Hatssut is an insane champ for GVG. She makes defenses incredibly scary. So if you're looking for a team, this is definitely a great setup. And then there's also Central Keep team. I guess I could show that real quick. It's essentially the same thing. Grab Lily. Grab Nightmare. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. This is definitely one of the most common teams you see later on. There's another setup like this. You got the Unkillable with Lily on A-Bomb. So if they try to send some mages your way or some dumb shit like that, A-Bomb's safe. This team can still get bombed. That's like one of the big weaknesses to this team. If your Hatssut or Arrogance isn't going enough, you could definitely be bombed on this team. But yeah, definitely a great option. Other than that, she's great in Gear Dungeon 2. If you guys want to see a Gear Dungeon 2 guide, let me know. I think most people have cleared that already. Definitely something I can do, though. But yeah, that's going to be all for this guide. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Good luck on your polls. Good luck if you're going for Glacius. Good luck if you're going for Hatssut. I should have a guide on Ingrid coming out, or not a guide, but a should you summon for Ingrid. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.